Welcome to Moonlit Zen Sleep. I'm glad you're here tonight. This space was made for moments like this, where the world softens, where your breath slows, and where your heart can finally rest. Tonight, we enter the story behind People Enter Your Life for a Reason. A gentle Zen reflection told through the quiet of the night. A story meant to ease the weight you've been carrying and help your mind drift into stillness. And the purpose of this moment is simple: to soothe you, to hold you, to guide you toward a deeper place inside yourself, where acceptance comes naturally and where sleep rises like a calm tide. Before anything else, I want you to know you're not listening alone. Somewhere out there, many hearts are drifting into the same quiet, seeking the same peace, hoping for the same gentle release. Tonight, you're part of that soft circle. A shared breath, a shared stillness, a shared night. Let yourself feel that connection. Not loud, not obvious, just a soft warmth around your chest that says, I belong. I'm safe. I'm allowed to rest now. Take a slow breath in and let it fall gently out. No need to change anything, just soften. Your shoulders release. Your jaw loosens, your hands grow warm and quiet. Every exhale lets a little more weight slip away. You don't have to try, you just have to allow. Let the day drop behind you, like footprints fading under the tide. Now imagine the night unfolding around you, a soft moon rising above a quiet forest, silver light resting on the leaves, a cool breeze brushing through the pines. Somewhere in the distance, a lantern glows outside a small wooden temple, its flame steady, its warmth gentle, its light moving like a slow breath. The world is silent here. Nothing rushes, nothing demands. Everything simply is calm, open, still. Let that night wrap around you. Let it hold the thoughts you're ready to release. Now breathe one more slow inhale and let your exhale melt downward through your body. If your mind wanders, let it wander softly. If a memory rises, let it drift through without gripping it. If someone comes to mind, someone who touched your life deeply, or quietly, or painfully, just notice their presence, the way you'd notice a leaf floating by on a river. No judgment, no analysis, only awareness. People enter your life for a reason, and tonight, you'll feel that truth more than you think it. Like a lantern glowing inside the heart, your breath slows, your body sinks heavier into the bed, your mind begins to open like a calm lake at dusk. You are ready now to drift into the deeper story waiting quietly beneath the moonlight. Let the forest hush around you, let the lantern guide you, let the night carry you inward, toward the Zen truth behind the people who touch our lives. Whenever you're ready, we gently step into the story. Settle in, just as you are. No need to change anything. Let the night gather around you, like a soft blanket being drawn slowly across the sky. Your breath becomes quieter, deeper, unforced, a gentle tide moving in and easing out. Again and again, feel your body sinking a little heavier. Feel the day sliding away from your shoulders. Feel the soft pull of rest beginning to take you in. Nothing else matters now. Only this quiet moment. Only this breath. Only this slow, unfolding night. Tonight, we return to the mountain's edge, where the river is born. Imagine a lonely ridge, high above the forest, snow resting on its crown, moonlight touching its edges, with a pale, silver glow. The world up here is silent. So silent you can hear your own heartbeat, so silent that even the wind whispers instead of speaking, and in that silence, something stirs. A single drop of melted snow slides down a smooth stone. It moves without sound, without intention, without knowing where it will go. Then another drop joins it, and another, until a thin thread of water begins to weave its way down the mountain's face. This is the river's first breath, its first movement, its first quiet life. It doesn't rush, it doesn't force, it simply appears, grows, and begins to flow. Let your breath follow it, soft, slow, effortless, like water gliding over cool stone. As the newborn river descends, the world begins to meet it. A pebble rolls into its path, a tiny obstacle, almost nothing. Yet the river feels it, curves around it, accepts it, and keeps moving. Then a feather falls from a passing bird, landing gently on the surface, floating quietly for a moment, before drifting away into the night. Sometimes a leaf drops beside it, sometimes a shadow crosses over it, sometimes nothing happens for a long while. But each moment, each object, each presence shapes the river in ways it will never fully understand, just like the people who brush against our lives without warning. Let your body soften, let your breath lengthen, like the widening river finding its way through stone and silence. Return to the mountain with your mind's quiet eye. See the river growing thicker, bolder, more certain of its own direction, yet still young enough to be shaped by everything it meets. It flows across rough earth, dancing around fallen branches, slipping under mossy logs, touching every root that dares to lean close. Some things stay with it briefly, a twig riding the surface, a cluster of petals forming a tiny boat for only a moment. Other things shape it deeply, a massive boulder, forcing the water to split into two separate streams that rejoin miles later. And sometimes the river meets something that doesn't stay at all, yet changes everything. Perhaps a small, smooth stone sits right at the place where the river turns. It doesn't stay long, just a season or two, before the current carries it away, but it leaves a curve behind, a permanent bend in the river's memory. Breathe with that image. Slow, gentle, easy. Feel the way your own thoughts begin to soften, the way water softens the land. Let the river guide you deeper, down the mountain, beneath the shadows of tall fir trees, into valleys where moonlight rests like silver dust on the trembling surface. Each time the river meets something new, it simply adjusts. It doesn't fight, it doesn't question, it just flows in the direction life pulls it. Somewhere within you, there is a river like this, quiet, faithful, always moving, always changing shape because of the people who enter and the moments that touch you. You don't need to force that river. You don't need to control it. You don't need to understand where it's going. Just breathe and let the water inside you find its own path. Let the night help you loosen your hold. Let the river show you how effortless movement can be. Imagine the sound now, soft rushing, gentle murmurs, a low, calming hum echoing through the forest. Hear it, feel it, let it move through your breath. In, like cool water collecting at the edge of the mountain. Out, like that same water spilling into open space. In, as the river discovers its own beginning. Out, as it glides into the waiting world. Feel your body sinking deeper, heavier, safer, as though the earth itself is holding you close. Picture the river stretching wider now, growing more confident, more alive, flowing with a quiet joy only newborn water knows. It doesn't wonder who will join it. It doesn't question why each branch or stone or leaf appears. It only knows how to flow, and in that pure movement, in that simple trust, everything that touches it becomes part of its story. Let your mind rest in that softness, the ease, the surrender, the quiet knowing that life has its own shape long before you can see it. The night deepens around the river. Crickets hum in the tall grass. A thin mist rises. As the water cools, the moon leans closer, as though blessing the river with its pale glow. and the river keeps moving, gentle, fluid, unbothered by the unknown. Take another slow breath, in and out, following the river's rhythm. There is no need to rush, no need to hold anything tight. You are drifting, softly, with the current, and as the river continues, into deeper valleys, new encounters await it, new shapes, new influences, new turning points. But for now, only this beginning matters. This first flowing moment, when water meets stone and discovers it can change direction without losing itself. Let that truth settle quietly into your chest. Let it soften you, let it calm you, let it prepare you for the next part of the journey. The river keeps moving, and so do you, slowly, peacefully, toward the unfolding night. The river moves deeper now, down the mountain's quiet side, gathering more water, more breath, more life. But it remains gentle, soft in its movement, unhurried in its purpose. Feel your breath match its pace, not rushed, not held, just flowing, naturally, softly, as though your body remembers how to rest in its own rhythm. The forest thickens around the river, tall pines standing like silent guardians, their branches swaying with the lightest whisper of wind. Moonlight filters through the needles, falling in thin silver lines across the rippling surface. Each line of light feels like a quiet blessing, a reminder that even in darkness, something gentle watches over the water. Breathe with that feeling, slow, trusting, safe. As the river widens, it begins to meet more things that arrive without warning. A Fayan log, lying halfway across its path. The river touches it, studies its shape, and without resistance, glides beneath it. With a soft sigh, like a deep exhale in the night, branches drift toward it, some brushing the surface before spinning away, others becoming entangled in tiny bends along the bank, staying for a few hours or a few days before the current frees them. Each encounter is brief, each presence is temporary, but the river remains open, accepting, willing to be shaped by what life brings. Feel your chest soften as the water moves around obstacles, without effort, without fear, without need to control. Just movement, just flow, just the natural intelligence of life unfolding. Let your breath follow that same intelligence, loosening your ribs, loosening your shoulders, loosening your hands, until your entire body feels like water resting in a gentle bowl. The night deepens, and the river discovers new terrain. Small cliffs rise beside it, their rocks glowing faintly under the moon's soft silver. The river touches their edges, and the stone answers back with a cool, grounding presence. Sometimes the river runs smoothly over open ground. Sometimes it squeezes through narrow crevices. Sometimes it pauses in still pools before finding movement again. But no matter the shape of the land, the river does one thing, only one. It keeps flowing, it keeps trusting, it keeps surrendering, just enough to be carried exactly where it needs to go. Let that knowing sink into your breath, into your chest, into your belly. You don't need to push tonight. You don't need to figure anything out. You don't need to hold anything together. You can be like the river, moving only as much as the moment asks, letting the rest flow past you into the quiet darkness. A soft mist rises from the surface now, cool, delicate, touching your imagination. The way dawn touches the horizon, it blurs the edges of rocks and branches, making everything look a little dreamlike, a little softer, a little more forgiving. Let yourself feel that softness, that forgiving quality, that gentle blur between what was and what is. Somewhere along its path, the river meets a new presence. A stone, larger than the rest, firm, unmoving, rooted deeply in the earth. It doesn't shift when the water arrives. It doesn't bend or break or drift away. It simply is. And the river, without hesitation, without fear, touches it. There is a moment of stillness, as though the water is listening. Then, with a quiet grace, the river divides. Half of it flows left, half to the right, each side curving smoothly around the stone. Before rejoining farther downstream, this moment becomes a memory in the water, a small bend, carved by presence rather than pressure. People like this stone appear in our lives too, but you don't need to think about that. Not now. Just let the image rest lightly in your mind, a symbol of how the river adapts without losing its softness. Take another slow breath, deep, steady, like water gathering strength. Before continuing, the forest opens again, revealing a wide, gentle valley, bathed in silver light. The river stretches into this open space, as though exhaling after a long descent. You too can exhale. Let your breath fall deeper. Let your body become heavier, as though settling into the soft earth beneath the valley floor. Notice how the river changes shape. In this wide space, it spreads out, relaxes, moves more slowly, more calmly, more quietly. No rush, no urgency, just ease. Let that feeling reach you, a softening across your chest, a loosening in your neck, a quiet melt in the muscles of your abdomen. You are the river. In this moment, you are the breath, gathering stillness. After a long day, the night sky opens above the valley, stars appearing one by one, glinting like tiny lanterns, hung by invisible hands. Their reflections dance on the water, shimmering softly. With each ripple, feel the calmness of that scene, the deep quiet that rises from star-filled water, the gentle hum of the world resting. And then, almost unnoticed, a small figure appears along the river's edge, a deer stepping lightly toward the water, bending its head to drink. The river doesn't react. It offers itself without hesitation, without fear. It simply flows, gives, receives, moves on. Your breath can be that natural, that effortless, that generous. Let the inhale come, slow and cool, like the deer approaching the river. Let the exhale leave, warm and soft, like the river welcoming what comes near. And now, the river begins to narrow again, slipping into a new passage, Archieter 1, where the air grows thick with the scent of pine and earth. This is where the river meets the first hints of emotion, not loud, not sharp, just quiet ripples moving through its body as it remembers all the small encounters that shaped it. A feather that floated, a stone that stood firm, a branch that drifted briefly, a shadow passing overhead. All of it, part of the river's beginning. All of it, woven into its early flow. You don't need to analyze any of this. Just feel the way these impressions move through the water, the way memory feels when seen through a dream. The river glides deeper into the quiet passage, and you glide with it, breath soft, mind soft, body relaxing, into the gentlest kind of surrender. You are ready now to step into a deeper truth, a quieter valley, a more intimate space within yourself. The river slows, almost to a hush, as though preparing for something inside to be felt. The river drifts into a quieter valley now, a place where the echoes soften, where the night feels warmer, where the world seems to breathe a little closer to your skin. Let your breath follow that change. Soft, slow, unhurried. Inhale as the valley opens. Exhale as the river settles into its new path. Feel your body ease a little deeper, your mind loosen a little more, as though something inside you is finally allowed to rest without holding anything back. The journey shifts here, from beginnings to companionship. Imagine the moon still following overhead, gentle, bright in its tenderness, casting a soft silver glow along the river's widening surface. The water no longer moves alone. As it enters the valley, it begins to move beside others, shadows and shapes that keep pace with its quiet motion. Tall grasses lean toward it, swaying with the rhythm of its flow. Their rustling becomes a soft music, steady, reassuring, as though whispering, "You're not alone in this place." Let your breath move with that whisper, slow, steady, trusting. Farther ahead, a row of stones lines the bank, not obstacles, but guides. They walk with the river in their own still way, watching over it. As the night deepens, some stand tall, firm, weathered by seasons that the water has never known. Yet they remain here, silent companions, steadfast witnesses, their presence gentle and unspoken. Feel that presence somewhere in your chest, the memory of those who once walked beside you without needing anything in return. The river flows on, and the valley grows more open. Trees gather now. Along the water's edge, old pines, bent oaks, willows with long silver branches, trailing across the surface. They move with the river, their roots gripping the earth, as if promising, "I'll stand here for as long as you need." Let yourself soften into that feeling, the warmth of companionship, the comfort of a presence that doesn't pressure or rush, that simply stays. The night folds around the river like a shawl of quiet protection. The air is cooler here, but not cold, just crisp enough to feel clean, fresh, honest. Mist rises again, not thick, just a gentle veil, softening the edges of everything, the kind of mist that makes the world feel tender. And through that mist, the river begins to sense the others who travel alongside it. A pair of fireflies floats above the surface, their tiny lights blinking softly, like two small lanterns, walking the path together. They do not rush ahead, they do not fall behind, they simply drift with the flow. Breathe with them, slow pulses of light, mirroring slow pulses of breath. In, gentle glow. Out, soft fade. The river continues its path, but it is no longer a lonely beginning. It has entered a season of companionship, not loud companionship, not overwhelming companionship, just quiet presences that shape its journey in ways the water barely notices at first. Feel that truth settle into you, like warmth spreading through the center of your chest. Sometimes the deepest connections are the quietest ones. Sometimes the most meaningful presence is the one that simply remains, walks beside you, breathes in the same rhythm. As you drift through the night, the river meets a bend now, a wide turning that forces it to slow. And along this curve, smooth, round stones line the bank, the kind polished by decades of soft water touching their surface. These stones do not move, yet they travel with the river for a long while. Season after season, storm after storm, their shapes remain familiar to the passing water. Let that familiarity rest inside your heart. People like this appear in your life too. Those who do not push, who do not demand, who do not break your flow, but who stay close enough that you begin to move more gently, more peacefully, simply because they exist. Take another slow breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, like the river gliding along its familiar companions. The forest grows deeper here, darker, but not frightening. The darkness feels warm, alive, protective, a night sky wrapped in ancient branches that have seen centuries of passing water. Fireflies drift between the trunks, owls rest silently on high branches, small animals curl into soft burrows along the river's edge. Everything rests. Together, everything moves in the same slow rhythm as the river. The companions of this valley do not need to speak. Their presence is enough. The river senses that these are not people of passing moments, not the leaf that drifts and leaves, not the twig that floats for a mile and then disappears. This is something different. This is the presence that shares the journey for a long season in life. People who walk beside you through years, through storms, through changing landscapes of your heart. Let your breathing soften at that thought. Let your chest warm. Let your body feel held by the memory of every companion who stayed longer than a moment. The river reflects the moon now in long, shimmering ripples. Each ripple carries a fragment of light, just as every season of your life carries a fragment of those who walked beside you. The water is calm, the air is still, the night is deep, and the river flows, never alone. You feel yourself drifting with it, gently, peacefully, held by the quiet presence of the valley. And ahead, somewhere beyond the next curve, the river senses that this season will not last forever. But for now, it simply flows in the company it's been given, grateful without needing to name it, peaceful without needing to understand it. This is the quiet middle of the river's journey and the quiet middle of your night. The river slips deeper into the valley now, its body wider, its voice softer, its rhythm steady and calm, like a heartbeat at rest. You feel that rhythm somewhere inside you, a quiet echo of the water's steady movement, a gentle reminder that you too know how to flow. Let your breath match that rhythm. Slow inhale, slow exhale, water entering, water leaving, nothing forced, nothing held back. The companions of this quiet season stay close to the river as it moves, not holding it, not directing it, just keeping pace in their own silent way. A willow leans over the surface, its long branches brushing the water like a soft hand on a tired shoulder. A cluster of stones rests along the inner curve of the river's bend, smooth, round, familiar, shaped by years of gentle touch. A pair of herons stands motionless in the shallows, their stillness like two monks in evening meditation. None of them try to change the river. None ask it to flow faster or move straighter or shine brighter. They simply share the space, share the movement, share the night. Take a breath with that. Feel how light it becomes when nothing is demanded of you. Feel how peaceful you become when simply allowed to be. The river drifts past patches of moonlit grass, swaying at the water's edge. Dew gathers on each blade, sparkling like tiny stars, fallen from the sky. And the river, soft and slow, carries their reflections, as though carrying small blessings. These are the companions of the long seasons, those who walk beside you without needing a reason, without needing to stay forever, without needing to explain why they feel like home. Just like the river, you have known these kinds of presences. Some arrived quietly, stepping into your life, the way moonlight slips through an open window. Some stayed for years, growing familiar, like the rhythm of your own breath. Some simply appeared during a season when you needed someone to walk beside you, even if neither of you knew why. Let yourself rest in those memories, the way the river rests in this calm valley. No story needed, no words needed, just the warmth of companionship held softly in your chest. The valley begins to widen again, a broad stretch of open space where the river becomes a long, shining ribbon under the starlit sky. Here, the water moves slower, as though savoring the company it keeps. Cattails rise in the shallows, their silhouettes standing tall against the moonlit mist. Dragonflies hover, their wings humming lightly as they drift from reed to reed, small guardians of the river's peace. And just beyond the reeds, a gentle path follows beside the water, a narrow trail made by deer and night walkers and the quiet passing of time. This path feels like a companion of its own, parallel, close, steady, a reminder that some presences do not touch you directly, but still move with you through long stretches of life. Feel the comfort of that parallel presence, a closeness without pressure, a company without weight. Let your breath fall deeper, let your body sink softer, like the river settling into the heart of the valley. In the distance, the sound of the water changes, not louder, just different, fuller, richer, as though it has found a new kind of harmony. The river begins to merge with a smaller stream flowing down the hill, a quiet joining of two separate paths. The streams meet gently, not crashing, not pushing, just blending in a slow, graceful curve. Two waters finding their way together. The river does not question why the stream arrived at this moment. It does not ask how long the stream will stay. It does not worry about losing its shape. It simply allows the meeting, the merging, the shared journey. Your breath follows that merge, soft, long, gently expanding your chest as you imagine two waters becoming one. For a moment, the river seems fuller, wider, as though companionship gives it strength, and then it continues on its path, still humble, still flowing, still held by the valley's gentle arms. Let yourself rest in that strength, the kind that comes from shared seasons, from being seen in quiet ways, from walking beside someone without needing to hold their hand. The night grows deeper now. A cool breeze slides across the valley, sending small ripples through the water's surface. The companions remain, the willows, the stones, the quiet path, the drifting fireflies, all moving with the river, as though keeping a silent promise. But like all seasons, this one begins to shift. The valley narrows, the trees grow closer, the river feels the land, pulling it forward, guiding it gently into a new passage. The companions of this season do not resist. They do not hold on. They simply let the river pass with a quiet blessing. And the river, true to its nature, does not cling, does not mourn, does not question. It only flows through every shared season, through every long companionship. The river remains what it has always been, soft, resilient, open, alive. It carries the memory of everything that walked beside it. It carries the shape of everything that stayed. It carries the warmth of every presence that brought light to its quiet journey. Let that warmth reach you like a gentle glow beneath your ribs. Let your breath soften. Let your body sink as you drift deeper into the calm of the night. Ahead, the valley thins and the river senses that a new landscape awaits, one with shadows, winds, and the quiet power of approaching storms. This is where the next chapter begins. But for now, you drift with the river in the last quiet moments of companionship, held, supported, never truly alone. The valley narrows, and the river feels the change before it sees it. The air grows cooler, thicker, quiet in a different way. Not the softness of peace, but the softness right before a distant storm breathes. Let your breath slow with that shift. Deep inhale, gentle exhale, like stepping into a new kind of night. The river moves forward with cautious grace. Its surface is still smooth, but the stillness feels heavier now, as if the world is holding its breath with you. Tall cliffs rise on either side, dark silhouettes against a cloud-covered sky. The moon hides behind drifting shadows, its silver light swallowed by thickening mist. The river has entered a deeper passage, a place where the world does not offer easy companionship, but invites transformation through challenge. Feel that shift somewhere inside your chest. Not fear, not tension, just a quiet awareness that change is near. The first sign appears as a low rumble echoing through the valley walls. Not loud, not sudden, just a distant vibration rolling along the stone. The river responds by slowing, listening, its surface trembling with soft ripples. You too can listen with the same gentle stillness, hearing the faint thunder of something approaching in your own life's memory. Breathe with the river, slow, unbroken, calm. The wind arrives next, a thin whisper at first, sliding through the pines, like a memory you didn't expect to feel again. It brushes the river's surface, creating tiny shivers that dance across the water. The river doesn't resist. It doesn't try to stay the way it was. It simply lets the wind touch it, shape it, move across it. Then the whisper grows stronger, a breath becoming a breeze, the breeze becoming a long sigh that stirs the entire valley. Branches sway above, leaves tremble, dust rises in small spirals along the riverbank. The river flows on, steady, soft, courageous, in its quiet way. Feel your breath steady with it, a little stronger, a little deeper, a little more willing to remain centered even when the air begins to change. A flash of light slices faintly behind the clouds, not bright, just enough to hint that the storm is no longer distant. The river widens again, entering a low basin where the wind circles, pressing the water in swirling patterns. The sky grows darker, but the darkness feels alive, not threatening, not harsh, just powerful and full of meaning. Feel the weight of that sky above you, not heavy on your body, but heavy with presence, with depth, with old wisdom that does not speak in words. The first raindrop falls, one single, gentle tap on the river's surface, then another and another, each drop sending a ripple outward in soft circles. The river receives them all, every impact, every touch, every little disruption. In its once quiet surface, your breath can receive the same way. Inhale, let the moment enter. Exhale, let it spread without fear. Soon the rain falls steadier, not a downpour, not yet, just a firm rhythm, like drumming fingers on a wooden shrine. The river begins to stir, its surface dances with countless tiny impacts, soft chaos, gentle disorder, a reminder that even water must sometimes lose its calmness to discover its strength. The storm draws nearer, lightning curls behind the clouds, illuminating their edges in pale white veins. Thunder follows, low, long, rolling through the valley like a great, ancient bell struck by the sky itself. The river trembles, not in fear, but in awakening. Something inside it begins to rise, a deeper current, a stronger pull, a quiet knowing that this moment will shape it. Let your breath deepen with that awakening. Slow inhale, long exhale, feeling your ribcage expand, like the valley opening to receive the storm. Rain thickens now, each drop heavier, cooler, falling with intention. The river's surface churns, no longer smooth, no longer still. But the river does not fight. It lets the rain break the surface, lets the wind push its edges, lets the thunder shake its depths. Because beneath that movement, beneath the surface turmoil, beneath the noise, the river remains. Its direction remains. Its essence remains. Its flow continues. You can feel that inside you too. A place unaffected by the world's storms. A place beneath the surface that does not break. No matter how wild the sky becomes, let yourself breathe into that place. Slow, soft, steady, the storm deepens. Rain falling in sheets, wind spiraling across the water, lightning tracing white lines. In the heavy sky, the river feels every force, every surge, every impact. This is a season of intensity, a season of shaking, a season that does not feel gentle, but is sacred in its own wild way. You have known seasons like this, but you don't need to revisit them. Just feel the river's journey. Let it speak. In the language of water and wind, thunder rolls again, closer, longer, as though calling something awake. Deep in the river's core, the water rises, currents twist, foam gathers. Where the flow meets jagged rock, everything is movement, everything is disruption. And yet, the river continues forward, not resisting, not collapsing, not losing itself, just continuing. One soft surge after another. Feel that resilience inside your breath, that quiet refusal to disappear. The cliffs echo with the sound of storm, a haunting, beautiful music that fills the valley with raw energy. But the river does not fear it. The river learns from it, not by thinking, not by trying, simply by being water. In the presence of wind and rain, feel your chest soften with that truth, your breath easing into a deeper quiet, even as the storm grows louder. And slowly, the river begins to change, not in its direction, not in its essence, but in its depth. The storm carves new curves into the land, new channels into the earth, new strength into the water's body. And the river accepts every change. The rain keeps falling, but the water is no longer shaken. It moves with the storm, not against it. It bends, it adapts, it flows through every impact, through every gust, through every crash. It remains. Take one more slow breath. In, out. You are drifting deeper into the heart of the storm's teaching. And ahead, beyond the thunder's echo, a new landscape waits, one shaped by everything the river has just endured. This is where the next part begins. But for now, let the storm soften and let your breath carry you into the quiet center of the river's strength. The storm begins to shift, not stopping, not ending, just softening. The way anger dissolves into quiet exhaustion, the way grief becomes a hum instead of a roar. Let your breath move with that softening. In, out, slow, steady, as though the storm is exhaling with you. Rain falls lighter now, still steady, but gentler. Each drop a small drumbeat, landing on the river's trembling surface. Thunder rolls farther away, its voice distant, fading behind the mountains. The wind loosens its grip, blowing in long, sighing breaths. Instead of sharp bursts, the river feels the change immediately. Its surface shifts from chaos to rhythm, from tumbling force to flowing strength. It has survived the storm's hardest moment and now enters the quiet after. Feel that relief spread across your chest, a lightness, a softening, a gentle drift inward. The cliffs still loom overhead, dark and wet, but their shadows feel gentler now. not threatening, simply present, the way memories stop hurting once time has touched them. The river moves slowly, cautiously, curiously, as though learning its own body again. Its edges are different now. Its path is altered. Its surface carries new patterns left by the storm, but the river does not mourn the path it once had. It flows forward through the one shaped by everything it has endured. Take a breath with that truth. Soft inhale, soft exhale, letting your own inner river shift and widen the way water naturally does. The rain continues. Now a gentle tapping, like fingertips on a wooden drum. Each drop makes a tiny crown on the river's surface before dissolving back into the flow. Tiny circles forming, expanding, overlapping until the entire surface glows with soft movement. Watch those circles in your mind. Let them ease your thoughts. Let them still the noise behind your ribs. The storm, sensing its time passing, begins to release the valley. Clouds lighten from charcoal to soft gray. Mist lifts from the cliffs in slow ribbons, and a small break in the sky allows a thin, pale moon to shine through. Its light is dim, washed by the storm, but it is enough to make the river shimmer in delicate silver ripples. The water glows softly, like the first breath after deep sorrow, fragile, trembling, but undeniably alive. Feel that glow deep inside your body, that fragile strength that rises after your own storms. The river drifts forward into a clearing, a wider space, carved by the storm's force. Puddles form along the banks, reflecting pieces of moonlight caught in the grass. Small branches lie scattered, like fragments of old stories, left behind by the wind. But the air feels different now, smoother, cleaner, filled with the scent of wet earth and pine. It is the scent of renewal. The river takes it in, absorbs it, flows through it. With quiet gratitude, you can breathe that scent too, imagining the coolness entering your chest, soft, calming, like a blessing over the places inside you that have been shaken. The valley begins to open again, slowly, like eyelids lifting after a long dream. Grass bends under the weight of raindrops. Bushes sparkle with beads of trembling water. Every leaf seems to shine just a little more brightly after the storm's passing. Life emerging from the quiet ruin left behind. The river glides through it all, not rushing, not searching, simply moving with the acceptance that comes after endurance. For a moment, it enters a pool, a deep, still bowl of water, carved by centuries of storms and seasons. The water calms completely here, its surface smooth as glass, reflecting the drifting clouds and returning moonlight. In this stillness, the river finally sees itself, what it has endured, what it has become, what remains untouched beneath all the movement. Let yourself rest in that still pool inside you. Let the storm's memory settle. Let the quiet rise like mist through your breath. This still pool is where the river recognizes that the storm did not break it. It revealed its deeper currents. The wind now comes only in gentle breaths. The rain slows to a light, rhythmic patter. Mist curls low around the water's edge. Everything is quieter, wider, more open than it was before the storm. And the river, softened by the struggle, strengthened by the turbulence, moves forward with a new kind of grace, one that cannot be learned. In calm seasons, the sky continues to open, more moonlight slipping through, touching the river with a silver thread that feels almost warm. The water welcomes it, shining softly as it flows out of the still pool and into a new stretch of open valley. The storm is behind it now, but its lessons are etched into every ripple. Let that feeling spread through your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your spine. You have known storms too. You have felt their winds. You have survived their shaking, and something in you flows clearer now because of them. The river glides into a tender quiet, a silence that feels earned, deserved, peaceful. The valley softens around it. Crickets begin their song. The air grows warm again. Fireflies return, like tiny stars that miss the river's glow. During the storm, everything feels more delicate now, more meaningful, as though the world is breathing with relief. Let yourself breathe with it. Slow, deep, content. The river knows that new landscapes await, gentler ones, warmer ones, places shaped not by force, but by quiet acceptance. And this is where the journey begins to turn inward, toward deeper soil, toward seeds hidden beneath the earth. Breathe in that quiet, then breathe out a softness you didn't know you were holding. Ahead, the earth waits, the soil deepens, the roots whisper. The storm has passed, and the river enters a hushed world, a world washed clean, a world holding its breath in gentle wonder. Let your own breath soften into that hush. Slow inhale, long exhale, like mist rising from quiet earth. The valley stretches wide again, open and calm, as if offering the river a place to rest. After everything it has endured, moonlight returns fully now, no longer hidden behind clouds, but clear and bright, casting silver paths across the softened water. The air feels different here, lighter, warmer, carrying the scent of wet soil and pine needles. Sleeping beneath the trees, the river moves slowly, almost tenderly, as though savoring the peace that follows transformation. Let your shoulders loosen with that same tenderness. Let your chest feel spacious. Let your breath glide in and out, like the water flowing through open land. Up ahead, the river enters a meadow, glistening with fresh rain. Each blade of grass holds a perfect droplet, tiny mirrors, catching the moon's glow, sparkling like beads, strung by the night itself. The river passes gently through, touching the edges of the meadow with soft ripples, ripples that carry the storm's memory, transformed into quiet strength. This is the place where echoes linger, soft, subtle, woven into the water like threads from every moment of its journey. Let your breath sink into that place inside you, the one that holds the gentle echoes of every soul that has brushed against your life. Not heavy echoes, not sharp ones, just impressions left by presence, warm traces that continue to shape the flow of your inner river. The meadow widens and the river slows until it moves in a long, reflective glide. The surface becomes so still that the sky above appears painted onto the water, stars shimmering in perfect, trembling clarity. This is where the river begins to understand, not in words, not in thought, but in reflection. In the quiet mirror its own surface has become. Let yourself sink into that reflection, not thinking, just seeing, feeling, being with the quiet truth that rises like moonlight over still water. Every presence the river has met, the branch, the feather, the stone, the storm, has left a trace, a shape, a curve, a deeper bed, a softer surface, an altered current. Some presences were gentle, some were fierce, some stayed for a season, some disappeared in a moment, but not one was meaningless. Let your breath move deeper as you feel that truth settle into you. The river glides into a grove of trees now, tall, ancient trunks that lean slightly inward, forming a natural gateway. Moonlight spills through the branches like white silk, draping the water in soft radiance. This place feels sacred, not in ceremony, but in presence, a quiet temple built by time and nature for those who seek to understand the echoes left in their path. The river enters slowly, with reverence, its movement careful, as though honoring the silence of the grove, and within that silence, it listens. The canopy is nearly still, only the faintest rustle of leaves shifting against the night breeze. The air carries the soft scent of cedar, the warmth of damp earth, the faint sweetness of night-blooming flowers. Hidden in the shadows, everything here feels intentional, the way certain people feel destined, even if their time with you was brief. The river flows past, a cluster of stones, old, moss-covered, rounded by decades of gentle water. They do not speak, they do not move, but the river feels their presence, feels the way they stand, as guardians of memory, as holders of truths too quiet to be spoken. Your breath can rest in that same quiet truth, the knowing that every soul you've met left something behind, some echo you still carry. The river drifts deeper into the grove, and the air grows warmer, more intimate, as if every tree leans close to share a secret. Here, the river sees what it could not see. During the storm, it sees the tiny eddies still swirling from old encounters. It sees the deeper bed carved by intense seasons. It sees the shimmering patterns left by those who walked beside it for months or years. Nothing remains unchanged. Nothing passes through without leaving something that lingers quietly in the flow. Let your body soften into that awareness, a gentle exhale, a slow melt of everything held tight. The river slows again, almost to stillness, as it reaches a wide, shallow pool. The surface lies quiet, beneath the moon, reflecting the branches above, like an ancient painting. In this stillness, the river remembers, not through thought, not through story, through feeling, the warmth of those who brought comfort, the strength of those who offered guidance, the sharpness of those who brought storms, the tenderness of those who brought peace, all of it held here in the echo of its own water. Feel the echoes within yourself, not loud, not painful, just present, just true, just part of the quiet map of your inner life. The river dips its surface against the mossy edge of a fallen log, its touch soft like a bow to what came before. Then it moves forward, slow, gentle, grateful, because now the river understands. Every presence had purpose, every meeting shaped something, every soul arrived in time. And as the river slips beyond the grove into deeper night, a new softness fills the air, a softness that prepares the heart for what comes next. But for now, only breathe, only rest. The river leaves the quiet grove, slipping gently back into open night. The air feels different here, lighter, smoother, as if the world itself has taken a deep breath after remembering something important. Let your breath follow that feeling. Soft inhale, slow exhale, a comfortable release through your entire body. The moon sits low in the sky now, not bright, not dim, just serene, a calm guardian, watching the river's journey with quiet affection. Its light falls across the water, in long, trembling ribbons, soft silver trails that bend and drift with the river's easy motion. You feel those ribbons too, like threads of calm woven through your chest, your shoulders, your belly, settling you deeper into the night. The river moves into a wide stretch, a shallow floodplain, where the land dips low and the water spreads like a gentle breath, releasing tension. Here, the river remembers again, but in a different way, not through reflection, not through stillness, but through movement. Each ripple carries a faint echo of what touched it before. Tiny waves roll outward from the center of the river's flow, each one me's a quiet reminder that every presence left something behind. A small log floats near the surface, rolling softly with the current. A silent traveler that once fell from a distant tree. A cluster of petals drifts in the moonlight, remains of a flower that bloomed far upstream. A feather glides past, light as breath, landing near the riverbank before drifting off again. None of these moments shout their meaning. None explain themselves. They simply remain in the quiet story the river carries. Feel how simple this remembrance is. Not heavy, not sharp, not demanding, just presence, just truth, just the soft imprint of everything that has touched you. The river turns slightly now, a gentle curve. It's formed long ago by an old season of wind and time. It is a natural bend, one the river no longer questions, one it no longer wonders about. It has become part of the river's shape, woven into its path, without force. Let your breath settle into that same acceptance, the same quiet knowing that not everything is meant to be understood, only carried with grace. The night deepens, stars multiply above, hundreds of tiny lights scattered across the sky like grains of luminous sand. They shimmer on the river's surface, a mirrored galaxy floating beside you. This moment feels almost weightless, as though time itself has slowed to honor the river's journey. And the river senses something, a tenderness, settling into the valley. The way the world feels just after a long cry finally softens into quiet relief. This tenderness comes not from the storm, not from the rocks, not from the trees, but from the echoes that remain. Echoes of companionship, echoes of impact, echoes of transformation, echoes of presence that touch the river in ways it only understands. In stillness, you feel it too, a softness in the chest, a warmth rising quietly from your breath, a subtle loosening in places you didn't even realize were clenched. Ahead, the river enters a stretch where wildflowers bloom along the banks, white, yellow, blue like twilight, their petals open toward the night sky, as though drinking moonlight from the air. The river moves beside them with gentle reverence, each flower becoming a small lantern, guiding the water forward. These flowers are like the souls whose kindness left a glow in you, quiet lights that still shine, even when the people are far upstream. Let that glow fill your breath, your mind, your entire body. The river glides on, and the flowers begin to thin, leaving only a few scattered lights along the edge. The valley darkens again, not ominous, just intimate. The river enters a tunnel of overhanging branches, willow leaves brushing its surface like soft fingers, stroking the water. This is the last chamber of the night's journey, a narrow passage where the river listens to its own heartbeat. In the shadows, it feels the echoes of every meeting, every crossing, every brief and lasting presence. not with pain, not with longing, just with truth. Here, the river knows, deep in its current, that every soul met it for a reason, some to guide, some to awaken, some to challenge, some to soften, some to stay, some to leave, but all left something. The river carries forward. Feel that knowing inside your breath, a quiet settling beneath your ribs. You do not hold people through memory alone. You hold them through the ways they shaped your flow, the ways they altered your course, the ways they deepened your capacity to move, to feel, to be. The branches thin as the river emerges from the tunnel. Moonlight floods in, gentle, glowing, washing the water in soft silver. The river slows to its calmest pace, yet almost still, almost resting. And in that near stillness, it understands something deeper, something wordless, something ancient. All souls meet for the river to become what it is. All encounters, brief or long, gentle or stormy, are threads in the same quiet tapestry. Nothing missed, nothing wasted, nothing wrong. Just a river finding its way through the world. Let your breath melt into that understanding. Inhale, exhale, slow, free. The river settles into a final pool, a small, circular mirror beneath a wide open sky. Here, the echoes quiet into a single stillness, a stillness that holds the truth of connection. And the river, with all its memories, with all its scars, with all its softness, rests. So do you. Let your breath fall gently into the center of your body. Let your mind drift lightly, like a petal on still water. The night holds you now, the way the river holds every echo, softly, gratefully, completely. This is where your journey settles, right before the descent into sleep. The valley quiets, the water hushes, the moon lowers, and you float gently into the final silence of the night.